the information security roles that you're going to fulfill as somebody who's taking Security Plus are very important. So let's talk a little bit, take a step back, and talk about some of the things in the world that you're going to be living in. At CompTIA, we've kind of identified four fundamental pillars. And these pillars have to do with the ability to develop code, infrastructure, such as the cloud or data centers, things like that. Managing of data and information, and then, of course, security or cybersecurity as they talk about it. So cybersecurity is one of the four essential pillars of IT. And what you can do is use the Security Plus certification that you're studying as a way to organize your thoughts and your study around this absolutely fascinating field of cybersecurity. Now, these are the 601, Security Plus 601 domains here that you're taking a look at here. Each of these 5 domains was created by literally thousands of subject matter experts. I'm not sure people really have a perspective on this. It's not like a few folks got together and created Security Plus or what have you. This is actually in a sense, crowdsourced peer information about cybersecurity that you need to know. So it's a great way to go about organizing all of your understanding about cybersecurity. Now, CompTIA, because we work with thousands of subject matter experts for any of our exams, these domains, again, are put together by professionals so that you too can get a professional level of understanding of cybersecurity. That's the whole goal, because our certification really is focused on specific job roles and the skills involved in those job roles. So there are various job roles such as network administrator. And network administrator is a job role that's been around a while. It's been morphing for some time, for decades really. But with the network administrator, it's basically the person in charge of making sure that information in transit remains secure. That's one way of looking at it. Another way of looking at a network administrator, though, is not so much from the security perspective, but just, does the network operate well? Are the switches and the routers, all those elements, edge network devices, are they all working and playing well together? But a network administrator has to make sure that he or she is putting together systems that are secure. When it comes to systems administrator, that's somebody who's working with various endpoints. When I say endpoints, I'm not necessarily talking about your mobile phone. I'm not necessarily talking about the PC or the notebook computer that you use or whatever, the IoT devices. I'm talking about the servers that operate in the cloud, the services that operate in the cloud, or the servers in the data center. The idea is, as a systems administrator, you're putting together information technology systems that enable a research department to do research, that enable a sales department to manage the relationships with their customers, that enable a business to do business. As a systems administrator, you have to understand cybersecurity because you have to build cybersecurity from the ground up. Otherwise, you're always kind of chasing security, or you're dealing with what they call downstream issues. By downstream issues, I simply mean this. Somebody's caused a problem upstream and you've got to deal with it later. But if you build from ground up with cybersecurity, you'd be a lot better shape. There are security operations center support professionals, for example. And these people basically work in a center, these days much more distributed than even a year ago. But they work to make sure that they monitor network administrators, the systems administrators, and their systems to make sure that there's no attack going on, things like that. There are incident responders. It's a very important job role because as an attack happens, we need people who can say, okay, I can recognize that there's an attack. I can then find a policy-based way, a good way to respond to that attack. These are specific job roles, all having to do with CompTIA Security Plus. Contractors. There's so many contractors out there that basically help create incident response policies, or there are people who say, I can help you with that security operations center. There are also security analysts. They're the people that kind of look for attacks and listen for attacks. All of these folks at a junior level to moderate level are the people that will work when it comes work as cybersecurity professionals. Now, what they do is they basically will do all sorts of things that have to do with visualizing traffic. What you're seeing here is a login for something called Kibana. It's something that's part of the ELK stack. I won't go into the details, but it's the idea that instead of just reading an obscure little log file, you can actually visualize it. And you can actually make it so that your boss, that she would understand exactly what you're talking about. The other things that you'll be doing is you'll be doing all sorts of risk assessments and helping along with those. You may not be in charge of that risk assessment, but you'll be a central person that provides the technology, that provides the understanding of the network so that you can conduct scanning reports and scans that will basically help an organization understand its cybersecurity stature. You could put together network maps, for example, and you can basically help understand how the network is operating, network elements are operating with each other. Now, when it comes to a security operations center, it's often seen as a central resource. That's why they call it a SOC, right? Well, here's the deal. Nowadays, they're much more distributed. By distributed, I simply mean you're going to have workers that might be working out of their home. But nevertheless, you are coordinating with various people, from help desks, with analysts, with cloud providers, various teams to turn data into information. So with the Security Operations Center, you're basically working with cyber threat intelligence, with security analysts, with all sorts of individuals to basically allow the organization to understand its security stature. More and more, the security worker today is going to be working in the areas of privacy, information security, privacy, and also cybersecurity. And there are various areas and various laws that you're going to have to know and learn about. And these laws and frameworks and regulations, there's so many of them, but they're all part of governance and risk management and compliance. And all of these different elements work together to make sure that as you work in an IT department, that you're going to be working as maybe with infrastructure individuals to say, let's see how we can keep things working properly. You'll also be working with cybersecurity professionals to say, well, it may be working properly, but it's not really secure. And then you're going to be working with governance people to make sure that you're compliant to various standards and frameworks. And there's so many of these standards and frameworks out there. If your company accepts credit cards, it might be that you'll be doing the PCI compliance. If you're an organization that could be a bank, for example, or somebody working for the federal government, you might be following a standard called the NIST cybersecurity framework. And in the state of California has the California Consumer Privacy Act. When it comes to the European Union, there's GDPR. All of these frameworks, they can be very confusing and they can be a little much. But if you go back to those 601, CompTIA 601 objectives, they help put things very much in context so that you have the technical know-how and the business know-how to support these kinds of frameworks and laws and things like that. I'm not going to go into detail about the NIST cybersecurity framework, but the whole idea behind this is that it allows you to identify and protect and detect systems and to detect hackers as they're going along. The thing that's really important to understand is that with CompTIA Security Plus, you have the ability to put all of these things to work. Now, finally, there are all sorts of attack frameworks that you're going to be learning about. The Lockheed Martin cybersecurity kill chain, for example, the MITRE attack model. There's also the Diamond model. All of these different kinds of frameworks and all these different kinds of laws, things like that, these are things that are going to enable you to understand how to properly secure a system. Before we get to all that, though, I think it's really important to network. As you're learning about security, find peers to help you learn. You can use LinkedIn, for example. If you don't have an account, grab one. But use some sort of platform that allows you to get people to help you learn. So you can get ideas for hands-on learning. The more you can get practical and hands-on with all of these concepts and best practices, the better. They can help you get through rough spots in your learning, whatever those might look like. And peers can recommend employment for each other. So these are some of the things to think about as you get into the cybersecurity profession.